Good morning. So I'm going to be talking to you about the Igo W today. This is my second go around at this RDA. I had one and it worked so well, but I never made a video. I just gave it away because it worked so well, and I had so many other RDAs, so I bought another one. Um, right off the bat, what's this get? Obviously, 2 thumbs up. It's an RDA. There's really not much to review for an RDA. The first thumbs up is for the bang for your money. This is probably one of the most affordable RDAs you can get. They range for about $15 to $25 depending on where you get it. If you go to a brick and mortar, obviously you're going to pay a little bit more because there's more overhead. So, that being said, um, how it performs. An RDA only performs as good as the setup you have it in. So, how you drill out the holes, how you have this wicked and coiled is going to determine how it performs. So, when you go into a review of an RDA, really, what are you looking at? It's going to perform, okay? If you've built coils and messed with RDAs before, then you get pretty much any RDA to perform. It's a rebuildable dripping atomizer. Concept is the same for pretty much all of them. Now, what are you looking at with the differences? How hard is it to drill out the holes on the cap? The Igo W actually uses very good, what seems to be like stainless steel. So it's going to be a little difficult to drill through if you don't have a drill press, or if you have dull drill bits. Okay, it's not thin, definitely not thin. So it's a quality build in my opinion. How big is the chamber inside? It's not that big. It's actually on the smaller end. Why? Because this top portion right here is pretty thick. So if you look in there, see there's a lot of that top portion that's just been filled out, and the inside of the chamber is not that big. How does this is that my fruit bowl? Look at this, My wife gives me a fruit bowl every morning to eat during the day. Gosh, I love her. Jeez. Okay, put that away. The smaller air chamber, how big of a difference does it make? Really, honestly, this size chamber is just pretty small. It does not make too much of a difference for me. I actually like it. I like this size chamber. This is probably the smallest size chamber that I like. But I've had no problems with this. Vapor production, no problems at all with this chamber. And obviously with like any RDA, I even got those mini RDAs to perform. So chamber size is just chamber size. It's really the aesthetics. I did drill out the holes. 2.2 millimeters here, 2 millimeters here in the back. The 3.2 millimeter side, I got my Dremel and a cone-shaped grinder, and I tapered it just so that I could kind of have that cool tapered look. At the same time, I could make that hole bigger progressively with my Dremel. So let's pull this in. I'll give you a quick vape, but it's going to be so obvious. This is a 0.47 ohm coil, a nano coil, triple twisted 28 gauge Cantle. So already you know it's going to perform like a 0.47 ohm coil. Okay, probably perform better than you think because 0.47 is still sub ohm, but you know you don't see that many that go, whoa, that's a cloud chaser. Well, this thing produces the same amount of vapor as my 0.3s or my 0.25 ohm setups, and so interestingly enough, actually I get really good performance out of this coil with this chamber, although it's not, I mean it has to do with the RDA in a bit, but it's a very small part. More of it has to do with my wick, my coil, and my air holes. So as you can see, the vapor is quickly going this way because I have my AC on. It's hot. It's the morning, and then when I woke up, I was like, ah, it's hot. So I go ahead and I went along and turned on my AC. So, the vapor production with that AC on, you can tell it's pretty massive. The flavor is freaking amazing. So that's it. That's the Igo W. You looking for one? Get one. Yes, there we go. This Igo review is pretty much done, and I did keep it kind of short, but there will be an update. So, in this video, if you're in the market for an Igo W, just get it. You're not going to regret it. The form factor and the aesthetics is what you're really looking at, and I happen to really like that cylinder-shaped Igo W, especially because I'm using a cylinder-shaped mod. Okay, if I have a cylinder-shaped mod and a cylinder-shaped rebuildable atomizer, dripping atomizer is pretty much spot on, right? It looks beautiful. It looks like the Tin Man from Alice in the Wonderland. Okay, so hello, Mr. Tin Man. With that whiteboard drip tip out, it does complement this setup pretty well. I've been using this for about 2 days now, just constantly owning this, and I like it very much. I really do. So there's going to be nothing negative to say about the Igo W. It's not even that hard to build on, actually. Everything about it is pretty much good. Okay. Now, are you gonna have to drill out the cap? Yes. Okay. The holes that it comes with is freaking puny, so you're gonna have to drill it out. It's not usable. The holes that it comes with is just not usable at all. Even if you like the tightest of draws, you're still not going to be able to use that air hole. It's really puny. Secondly, how much is this? Like I said, I kind of pointed out to you, it's on the really on the more affordable end of the whole RDA spectrum. This is the standards for RDAs. Every RDA should perform like this, and it should perform like this easily. Okay. This was a very easy build for me to do. No, I didn't like fiddle around with it. I knew what I wanted, I did it, and then boom, it happened, okay? Now for the update, because the Igo W gets 2 thumbs up. Obviously, like most RDAs too. It's an RDA, guys. You can't really screw up an RDA. Well, you can, but it's not. So let's go ahead and take this RDA out. And so, going from one of the best RDAs I've ever tried out, which is the Igo W, to kind of one of the worst, the Helios, okay? Actually, I got this thing to perform well today. And what did I do? What did I do for this thing to perform well? Well, that's kind of simple, and I'll show you right now. I went back to the basics, okay? I kept it simple, you know, the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid, is pretty much what happened with this RDA, okay? I probably built over 30 coils on this thing, maybe more, 40 or even 50. Just trying out exotic coils to make it work best. And I've always ran into problems with that. I finally built a microcoil to run on variable voltage mods, and it actually worked out well. I actually liked how that came out. So I kept it on there today. I decided to keep it simple again. I wanted to get a 0.6 ohm coil. This is a 0.58 ohm coil with dual twisted 28 gauge. 4 wraps, not a microcoil, not a nanocoil. It's just a simple 4 wraps on a kind of bigger, a bigger screwdriver. One of these. Okay, and this is not a thin, small screwdriver. This is a big screwdriver. I just did 4 wraps. I didn't connect them together. I put just about a millimeter of spacing between the coils. 4 wraps. Okay, and this camera is horrible at focusing close up. It does not have it's a micro focus. It always focus. So if I want to actually give a close up, I pull out my other camera, but I'm not gonna do that because it's just an update. So I got it to about 0.58 ohms or 0.6 ohms. And it was the simplest method, okay? This is before all the whole microcoil, the whole nanocoil, the chimney coil, dragon coil, this coil, that coil, woohoo! Before all that, just a standard coil. So I just got my piece of wire, wrapped it around, pushed it together just so that it's springs, pushed it together and pops back out. Left about a millimeter space between the wraps, not micro, not nano, just a regular old coil. And it performed freaking the best in this RDA. It outperformed all my nano coil, micro coil, super nano coil, dragon coil, the vertical coil, you name it. It actually this pretty much basic wrap outperformed all of that. And I kind of said in my previous videos that I had a problem with how high this post sits and how high the coil sits. Well, with this setup, because those holes are big already, I don't have a problem with how high this sits anymore. Ta-da! There you go, right? So an RDA only performs as well as the coils you build in it, like I said before. How this thing performs, sheesh. You know, I was kind of embarrassed to admit it, but it was my user error that kind of got this not to perform the way I wanted it to. And you know, it is what it is. I did drill out those holes to a circular hole, and I'm still kind of bitter about that because I broke 2 drill bits doing it. Okay, it's an oval size hole, and when you're drilling out oval size holes, what you want to do is get a small drill bit, put it in that oval, and go up and down to kind of circular that hole. Because when you want to drill out right away, what's going to happen is that drill bit's going to go in, okay, and it's just going to thread that oval hole. And what happens when you thread it and then you kind of pull it out, wiggle it, or even adjust it, it's going to snap. It's obvious. I knew this before I drilled it. But as careful as I was, I still broke 2 drill bits. And I'm kind of bitter on that because those are the 2 drill bits I use the most. So, and I don't buy cheap drill bits. Okay, I don't go to, like, you know, your Big Lot or your Walmart and then just buy those regular drill bits. I don't do that. I go to Home Depot and I actually buy the good drill bits. So when I break a drill bit, I have like a tear coming out. I broke 2. And I had to punch a wall after that. Just to prove my manlyhood. Okay, again, keep it simple. See, this thing performs freaking great. I'm actually happy. I might even use it like this. Shoot, this thing's awesome. Again, keep it simple. Simple works. It's the reason why they had it in the first place. This kind of pretty much outperforms all my crazier builds. On this RDA. My nano coils perform not as well. My micro coils will perform as well. Just a regular old coil performed best in this RDA. So again, when we're looking at the Igo W or the Helios, or whatever you want to call it, or the Omega, or the Nimbus, or the new kind of one, the Crown, or whatever you want to call it, or the so many RDAs out there. It's an RDA, okay? It's gonna perform. As long as you build the coil that you want on there, it will perform. Obviously, you're gonna have to drill out holes. The only RDA that I came across that I didn't have to drill out any holes was the Omega, because it comes with gigantic freaking holes. And the only issue with that, I really like that. It's great, best out of the box. But the only issue with that is that on the lip, the holes are already pre-drilled. It's static. It can't move. You can't move the hole. So when you build a coil, you have to match to where the hole is. Okay, that's my biggest issue. It's not even an issue. Okay, it's just something that I have to do. Now with these other RDAs, the hole is drilled on the cap. So you can place that coil pretty much wherever you want, and then you can just place the cap over the coil, and there you go. Boom. So again, Great out-of-the-box performance. At the same time, you have less, I guess, customization. You're kind of forced to build a certain way. Same with the Helios, in my opinion. You're forced to build a certain way. Pretty much my favorite RDA out there is the Nimbus or the Igo W. Let me go ahead and give you another update on the Igo W because I forgot to mention something. The Igo W. Squeaky, squeaky. No, it's not squeaky at all. It's kidding. Let's go ahead and pop this sucker back on. Okay. Go ahead and feed some juice in there. So from what I've experienced, and this is partly the reason why I gave away my first Igo W. The top cap on a Nimbus, and this is a Nimbus clone, the top cap on a Nimbus fit perfectly on the Igo W, okay? The base is a little different as far as where the O-rings are, okay, and how high it sits and how spaced out they are. Very, very slight differences. The Nimbus does come with a hex screw, whereas the Igo W comes with a Phillips. Ta-da! I prefer Phillips. The Igo W is kind of although I did replace these screws on the Nimbus. I did replace the screws in the Nimbus with Phillips heads. I like Phillips heads because, like I said, it gives me more of the ability to customize my own coils. Okay, I could go ahead and wrap the coil, I could put the negative post into the hole in the post, and I can kind of angle it up and then put the positive side on in between the post and the screw head and tighten it down. I have that ability. You don't have that ability with hex screws. Even if you strip a Phillips head, you can grab it with a pair of pliers. If you strip a hex, now you're gonna have an ass of a time getting that out. So again, before I end this video, Nimbus cap, Igo W base, it fits right over it. It fits in snug and perfect. Okay, it does hold up very well. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Look at that! I have a Nimbus now. That's what it is. Okay. So I'll go ahead and put a vape. I gotta go in. I gotta get breakfast, but. I have a lot more airflow in this Nimbus than I do on that on the Igo cap. The chamber on the Nimbus is obviously a lot bigger than the chamber on the Igo W, but that really doesn't make much of a difference. It's the airflow. I do have a lot more airflow because I have 4 2.5mm holes bored out, and this thing just performs awesome. Although a little bit too much airflow, in my opinion, it's really, really loose. So that's just my little update. You can interchange the caps. Although the cap, I'm going to do another review on later because I have a clear cap that I'm going to burn in on video. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching. If you have a question, feel free to message me or leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you and all that good stuff. Alright, thanks for watching.